All right, so we have our quorum, it's 8:03, so we'll call the meeting to order. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
All right, may I have a motion to approve the minutes? I'll motion to approve. Okay, Julia, motion to approve, may I have a second?
I'll second them.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, the minutes are approved. And visitor comments, we do not have any visitors. And so we'll move into the introduction of our new police chief, Police Chief Vincent Aceves. Okay, Police Chief, please take over.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me this morning. I may have met some of you previously and some of you I have not met previously. What is your first name? Julia. Julia, it's great to see you again. You just mentioned that you were on one of my hiring panels. I'm 90 days into my journey here in Webster Groves, and the first 90 days it's been pretty fantastic. I brought my family, my wife, my teenage daughters down here, and we just found a house. We're closing on the 27th. So that's the personal stuff going on. My girls are assimilating to the schools and to volleyball and tennis and all the other good stuff. So couldn't ask for a better transition.
Where do you come from?
It's come from Chicago.
Okay.
Come from Chicago, spent almost 25 years in law enforcement in Chicago. And so this was a significant move. But you know, I had been out of law enforcement for 2 years. I was working in emergency management for Cook County, and it was a pretty big job. But one of the things I realized in that 2-year journey working for Cook County was how much I missed law enforcement. And when I saw this opportunity, my wife and I came down here for the interview process, and we fell in love with this community. So I'm happy to be here. I feel as great and as energized today as I did on the first day. You guys know, you guys are business owners, you're involved in the business community. This is my business here, this police department. This first 90 days has been the honeymoon phase and is now officially over. The hard work is going to start. And, moving in that direction of hard work, this is the opportunity over the next several months when I really get more of an opportunity to get out into the community, meet some of the other community stakeholders. I've already worked with a couple people in the clergy, a couple not-for-profits, but I'm looking forward to meeting more people in the community, all the different stakeholders, business owners, reverends, anybody who wants to collaborate with our police department, because we want to be great partners and we want to support you in every way we can. So please, before we leave this morning, if you want my phone number, if there's ever anything I can do for you, I will answer my phone 24 hours a day. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back. And I want to be of service. And I want to figure out the best way for us to move forward and to continue to move forward as a city, as a police department, and as a business community. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, great to meet you. Okay, does anybody have any questions for the new police chief? All right. Okay, let's move into old business. So now we have to move to closed session to discuss our community improvement district, which is the CIP.
Madam Chair, we put that on the agenda if we need to go to closed session in any way. I don't believe that we have any business that we need to talk about in closed session at this point. If I can give you an update, then we'll determine if we should. How's that sound?
Can I ask
Yep,
can I ask one question about it, which may mean we don't need to, do we have an actual timeline about our CID, like what is our next steps, what next steps we're taking? That may not, just the schedule of it may not mean that we need to move to closed business. I just need to know our schedule.
I think that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, and I don't think we need to go to closed session on that point. So I think we can stay here. We don't have a firm timeline. We know Madam Mayor is at the end of the table there. Madam Mayor and I need to schedule the time for the council to get their briefing on a SID, much less the Crossroads potential SID. So I think that is coming up. I think as the last meeting we talked about, we're probably shooting December to January to have the conversation between the council and Crossroads on your recommendation. I've put together a draft of that recommendation sheet, the form that we have to send in to the council to look at. But that probably comes back to you next month for your review to look at, to send to the council, and then working with Madam Mayor and the city manager on when do we get this on the council agenda and sort of the right moment to have that conversation, along with some other revenue conversations I think the city needs to have just in general. So, Madam Mayor, is there anything, because the schedule includes council agenda, I want to turn to you and just make sure I've got that.
No, I think that sounds very reasonable, and we're clearing a few things out this month, which I think means December. Probably a pretty good bet with January as a backup.
Okay. So then that draft then will be a part of our next
That's
month's Crossroads.
Yes.
Excuse me. Okay. It's all right. So then that would go to closed session to discuss that draft.
Next month, I believe we'll go to closed session because we'll want to look at the petition potential and make sure we have all the things that you would think of from your district's perspective in that petition. I think there's probably a couple months worth of work there, you know what I mean, October, November, but really starting to peel that apart because that petition is really important in terms of the details.
Okay, so then we'll move to streetscape project update.
Okay, so that's me. So as you all know, we now have a new public works director, and his name is Sanan. Sanan has been working on gathering the information to start the RFP. He's also been in contact with MoDOT discussing certain things with respect to the streetscape. So hopefully our intent is to have the RFP out by the end of the month, or it's September. September, the end of this month. Okay.
I submitted a request when we were working up the streetscape ideas of a light, pedestrian light somewhere along our area. And then I just went to the Walking House concert on Monday night and recognized that there's a flashing light at that intersection. The pedestrian light, and that's what I was talking about, something that somebody could push the button, have flashing lights, and people stop because it's pedestrians.
Like down by the.
Yeah, by Alma, maybe Alma and the parking lot, somewhere further down the middle, so the kids stay away from the intersections.
Yeah, I agree with you, that seems.
A lot of kids are still crossing over the railroad tracks and
Yep.
coming up by Art of Entertaining
Yep.
and behind my building.
Like
I
that.
think the majority of them
Yep.
are doing that. And I don't know how they're making that across Elm and then getting up.
Cause that's almost a straight down.
Yep.
Behind the
It's
buildings.
constant.
You just stand on Michael Rogers and watch it in the morning at school side, cross over those railroad tracks and down.
So that means they're crossing Elm somewhere without a crosswalk
Right.
anywhere. In all that intersection.
Around the corner, people coming around the corner, you can't see them crossing, it's tricky.
I don't know how that is rectified without fencing.
So. It seems to be the masses crossing point this year, where before they were walking down Elm last year. At the light, and I thought it was weird that they were not walking down Elm, so I just was watching them this year and they're going down the railroad tracks.
Maybe that's something that goes from the city to the district leaders. And somebody-
That's why I just took a note.
Somebody
Yeah.
in Hickson and say, hey, listen.
Yeah.
Tell these
Right.
kids.
Cause you would
stay
see
beside
like the
them.
majority of them walking down Big Bend and down Elm, and now they're going, instead of coming down Big Bend and turning at Elm, they're going over the railroad tracks and down.
And did they
Yeah,
go on the,
logistically, I'm with you. It makes me, it's
Yeah.
hard to picture where they're actually going, because you run right into the highway ramp too.
So
Okay, thank you. I will start with the school district.
are they going down on the north side or the east side, north side or south side of the railroad tracks?
Well, they're crossing over the railroad tracks between the Art of Entertaining and
Okay.
his building.
And then they're going,
that'll be crossing Elm before the railroad track overpass.
Right.
Because they're, all the planters and everything are underneath the 44 landscape. So I don't know how
Right.
they're getting through there, honestly.
yeah, because I walked.
There's gotta be a path because there's so many of them coming
Yeah.
through. It's like migration.
I walked the dog over there, maybe I'll check it out.
It's like a great.
It's
Yeah.
serious. It's scary because of, we have all the sidewalks and all these crosswalks and they're doing this, so.
I'm an invincible preteen.
Because it's a whole much.
It's been going on for a very long time.
We've all lived here.
It's like, yeah, we were successfully shutting them down.
Because I
big
did-
bets.
If you feel like you got something to say,
I
you should
did.
chime in here.
Yeah,
So, I'm listening to what you guys are describing, and I don't have a specific answer or response beyond. I know that since day one, we've been involved in discussions with Hickson Middle School about maybe not some of the specific things that you guys are describing, but as an overarching subject, the dismissals. We've been over there and we're trying to figure out what the best possible solution is. And we're still engaged in those discussions. I will certainly bring this up. I think we're scheduled for a meeting either on Thursday or Friday to follow up on some of the other things we've talked about at this point, but I'll certainly bring this up because what you guys are describing is concerning.
I'd be glad to meet you over there. We'll walk through it. So I can show you where.
Let's exchange information after the meeting and set that up.
Yes, I think this means this goes off my list on your list.
I didn't want to breach any protocols.
No, I like it.
so then that document, if it's out by the end of September, it's something that we can kind of discuss in detail at our next meeting. Okay, so that moves us to the district's events update. All right, Chris, you want to take over on the first one?
Pickleball tournament, September 28th. We are going to shut down part of Gore and a little bit of Kenilworth, and we'll have live music. We'll have a car show. We will have pickleball. It'll be 8:30 to 4:30. If anyone wants to play and hasn't registered, we're about 3/4 full. There should be about 200 players. There'll be a silent auction. It's all for the Mighty Oaks. And that is about the excitement of it. So you can go to pickleballtournament.net and get all the information because there's kids events going on, food trucks, everything kind of happening around in and around Digital Strike.
Okay, and then, okay, sounds great. Do you need anything from us specifically?
No, nothing specifically. Just we'd love to have you come out and hang out with us for a little bit.
For sure. Okay, and then our trick or treat is the Saturday before Halloween. And Alan is going to get the map all ready for us.
Oh, cool.
And we just gotta, he'll coordinate with you.
On
And,
who's participating.
yep. On the participation.
And I'll be sending that out a little later in the month. I've learned from experience if I do it too early.
Right, then it's
Yeah,
all
it
this
just doesn't
dumps
work.
on you at the end, okay.
What time is that trick or treat event?
3 to 5. And that'll be taking place in all three
All three
business districts.
Concert at the Hawken House was very well attended.
They're doing great at this.
Need to make it work. Yeah. Mark Close played all the music in my era.
And we sponsored the Hawken House as a business district, but Eric, have they ever reached out to get their sponsorship check?
They did.
from us?
They did. Yep.
Okay.
The same amount as all the time. It's in your budget. So we processed it and send it back. So
Okay, awesome. And then are there any events beyond those right now?
could
So,
we, oh, thank you, Julia. I was hoping Julia want to talk about holiday event as well. So
Yeah, well, before we get to Christmas type holiday events, there is something about to go out for a fall fest that we're doing Webster wide, organizing through the BDC. For the whole weekend of the 25th, 26th, 27th, Friday night, Saturday, and all day Sunday. It will be a pay to participate event.
that's in November?
October,
October.
that same weekend as trick or treating.
Okay,
And that is Kelly from Civil Alchemy's been helping a lot with that, and she's very motivated, so I'm expecting a big showing from Old Orchard. So it'd be nice if we can get as many Crossroads people attended. I know nobody really in this room is like a retail restaurant, but It'll be $15 to participate, and we just ask that people show up however is best for their business. So if it's a fall collection that they're releasing, or if they're sampling a new food item, that should be happening. So,
And so where is it? Is it?
Yeah, I don't, what is it?
sorry, it's like almost like a city Webster-wide business crawl that goes through the full weekend, and we're calling it Fall Fest. And it's gonna be Friday night, 5 to 8, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. So it's kind of like people can bop around and just feel fall festive that weekend, and it'll be coordinated also with trick or treat. So if that's how your business shows up, that's amazing also. But if you want to be on the flyer and the marketing, you have to pay the $15 participation fee. And they're making like a commemorative poster with the new business Papillon Press. And we're hoping that it'll be a year after year thing. It'll be like almost like a collector's poster that people will keep. But Civil Alchemy is going to be doing like live music in back, and maybe they were talking about like a bonfire if that's legal. So I don't know. We're gonna just be doing Descendant. We'll be doing like, yeah, like fall clothing. Like we'll have a, new collection. But I think Sylvie D's will probably have like a fall flavored ice cream. Bagel Union they do like a pumpkin cream cheese, stuff like that. So Chris, it would be amazing if you could throw something together. I know it's right like 3 weeks after pickleball, but if you want to set something up in your parking lot, that would be awesome. Even if it's like, people were talking about projecting like a movie on like a side of a building or something, or I don't know.
The back of one of your big signs that you.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if we could talk offline and go through
Yeah.
some ideas, I'd be more than happy to participate or be interested in supporting.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll email you or call you this week.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, may I just give a little details back to the backside of Julia's conversation there? We had a great collaboration request meeting come from BDC, some members about just having some businesses come together, and they had a great meeting at City Hall, and this popped organically out of that. That trick or treating doesn't do much for retail foot traffic for a fall type of event, and that in the Q3, I call it the Q3 model, I guess, or in that period before you sort of hit the holiday season. And so this is not like a city's going to shut down the street in a certain spot, or at least yet. It's more of a, here's a city branded or a BDC branded, this organic branding of this Fall Fest across the city during certain hours, sort of asking businesses to participate, pay a little in to get on the advertisements, but really it's not, you don't have to do it's not like holiday stroll where we're shutting something down or we're making, a large effort on sidewalk sales. It's really however businesses respond to this sort of weekend branded of shopping, branded time of shopping, I guess. Was that a good way to say it, Julia?
Yep, that's exactly right. We're just trying to get that unified Webster-wide participation message out. And we thought by making it the weekend long, then it's not, people could go one place on Friday and then Saturday, Sunday. So that's that. But then for December holiday, tentatively, we've got December 15th, as some businesses are already organizing to have a Crossroads holiday open house. And I don't know if this board really needs to do much. It's kind of, or if you guys just want to let the businesses kind of grassroots handle it. I think that's cool, but keeping everybody posted. December 15th is a Sunday. No other business districts are doing anything that day, which is why we picked that day. We already have Santa at Sylvie D's that day.
I know we talked about Reese last month, and I have not been able to put the hand on one at this. Looked everywhere.
I sent you a photo, right?
Yeah.
Did I remember? Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't have all sorts. So that's a way to go. Okay.
But we did talk about nudging parks or whoever to get our decorations out as soon as possible. Business owners have been reporting that that's just helpful to
So I can address that. It's not parks,
Oh,
it's
it's not.
public works
Okay.
that pays.
Perfect.
So I've actually been speaking with them to formulate a plan to be, no, another word other than use, more aggressive with getting the decorations all over the city done. Ideally, it would be great for them to have it done, worst case scenario, by the end of the first week of December. I like it earlier than that.
Yeah.
But working with Frank, because I want to understand how they do it.
Yeah.
Because it seems to me like they should just go straight down, turn around, come back up. And then maybe the special touches, somebody else can be working behind them.
Yeah.
So, I heard you last week, so, yeah, it's just working to make sure it gets out earlier than right at this.
Okay, cool. All right.
So that's good for you. All right. Moving on to commission vacancies, we have two. Correct. Okay. Anybody have any ideas of who they would like to recruit for those? Your brother?
I would like to say, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think he wakes up this early.
Did anybody talk to Rachel or Gertrude or?
I posted like a little nudge in the Facebook group, kind of thinking they would put it out there, and nobody said anything. I could ask them first.
I can always go ask people personally too,
Okay.
if anyone thinks that would help.
That'd be great. Lecture Russell.
Somebody from Union Bank, do we know anybody there?
You know, we've asked several times and they don't really respond to
Yeah, they're hard to,
anything.
Their hands full making big.
yeah, I guess. I would love to see Alan back, but.
Right. I'll ask Ellen. I would like to see a rep back from Schnucks again. We had a rep from Schnucks a long time ago.
Especially if we're talking.
Yep, CID.
I guess that question.
Did you handle that? Okay, thank you.
What about Ann at Crew Entertainment?
She always says no, but I'll try again.
Yeah.
All right, so I will ask Ann and Alan. You'll take Rachel and Gretchen. Sure.
I might have, Rachel and John Lewis is Gretchen's husband. He seems like he would be most interested in that
Okay.
group.
Okay, that's true, that's true. I have an email, so it's, okay. So we'll see what we can come up there.
Fred Lewis doesn't get up in time.
And hang out with his brother.
Yeah, it's not in the office.
All right, moving to new business. We're all looking at you.
Nothing new?
So my new business was the update on well, I do have some new business or some new announcements, and I didn't know if the mayor wanted to.
No, you go
chime in
right
first.
ahead.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. So, you all probably are aware, we do have two fellows coming in from Southeast Asia. They will be introduced around town, bringing them around the various businesses. They will be with us for a month. Their focus is sustainability and environmental concerns. So we're really excited to have them on board. I think that's my new business announcement, other than the holiday and the RFP. So I'm sure I'm missing something. Eric, do you want to chime in?
I think in terms of new business, Madam Mayor, and we'll talk about the city update, but I think taxes season, we're in property tax season, and we had a surprising year when we look at, if you've read the paper, it's a year when our property tax values have gone down in Webster Groves. Property values, I should say. Assessments have gone down. Crossroads did not take much of as much of a hit in terms of values as Old Webster and Old Orchard. They went down 13% in commercial value, 12 and 13%, I think, respectively. So what you're going to see is a slight increase in your tax rate. If you're familiar with how the Hancock Amendment works, and this is Madam Mayor and I get to geek out in political science and policy here, and every year we do this, but essentially as our values of property go up, our tax rates have to go down to sort of bring in about the same value of the money, the same amount of money in terms of revenue to the city. We can't have a windfall without new construction happening. If someone built a new Schnucks, obviously there'd be new tax revenue. but the values go down, that means that the maximum possible rate, which is what we're still below what the people have said, have elected to have been taxed at, but the rate that the taxes can be set at goes up by a couple points. We're not talking any major increase for Crossroads, but I just wanted to point out that you're going to see a rate increase for the first time in some time. The fundamental theory is the value has fallen on your property. And so, that you're going to be paying about the same in the taxes to the city. That has yet to be finalized because the Board of Equalization has not finished their work yet at the county. So we're going to have some work to do here as we go through the end of September on setting those rates. It's the factor of, I believe, the economy and where we're at with, the bubble of real estate values. I don't like to call it a bubble because it infers it popped and that there's going to be a massive drop off, but we've seen values go down, and we're seeing a lot more protesting or going to the Board of Equalization of certain values as we've gone through the process of properties increasing in value since COVID, especially. So. That was a downer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's reality, Eric. I get it.
All right, Julia, BDC update?
BDC update, we've got our coffee next Wednesday. If anybody can make it, that would be amazing. It's at 8:30 at the rec center. We are going to be rolling out and introducing the new Blue Dot, which is very exciting, which will be a directory for the businesses and more, which I'm sure you guys have heard Eric speak about it before, but if you want to get the full rundown, come to the coffee. We had a really successful happy hour that we partnered with the chamber, which kind of hit people who couldn't make it to those 8:30 a.m. Time slots. And we're really just trying to continue to engage the business owner community, bridge that gap between City Hall and the business community, and just keep everybody on the same page and moving in the right direction, in the same direction. And it's been great to see so many new engaged people. So that's how the Fall Fest kind of came about, as Eric was mentioning earlier. Any other BDC things that are worth mentioning right now? We'll also be talking about at the coffee, the SID model, introducing that again to all the business districts. So if they're interested in doing that on their own, in their way, or forming their own places that aren't in a district. And also another alternative, which would be a different way to increase revenue through a minor sales tax increase, just kind of gauging to see if people are interested in that. But it's all very phase one. Serious.
And then next for city update, was that the city update, the property values?
That's also Madam Mayor's update for anything she wanted to bring to your attention.
Just a couple quick updates on council and citywide things. Those of you following the ABC Children's Hospital proposal, they have asked that be held until the October meeting for Plan Commission action. So that just pushes the calendar back. I encourage you all to follow along and become informed. You probably saw in the WKT, there will be 2 charter amendments as we continue to work through the 23 recommendations that the Charter Commission made to us. One on council compensation. You get to decide whether to raise pay of council or not. And the second one is just to codify in the charter that public engagement needs to be part of how we do our business as a city. Doesn't say that anywhere. And then finally, we'll get a timely, given all the late flooding, we had commissioned a stormwater master plan for the city. So council will be this fall receiving that report and beginning to think about how do we prioritize and begin to examine and rectify some of the huge stormwater problems that we have in the city.
Justin. Good morning, Officer Flannery. All right, do you have anything for
No,
us today?
anybody agree?
Anybody
That's a good thing.
All right. All right,
Working's good.
no issues there, just the herd of kids. Okay, our next meeting is set for October 16th at 8 a.m. Everybody good with that?
I'm gonna get on the door.
Yep. Well, we had the power this morning with
Power
us.
today.
Yep,
I have one quick question.
yes.
I don't know everybody at this table.
Oh, Yes, we should introduce ourselves to you.
Yes,
Okay.
Julie, we'll start with you. What's your last name?
Leemag, Leemag, and I own Descendant Boutique. 8715.
Okay. Sam?
Allison, 1L, Kinderfather. I own property in the neighborhood. I work at Lewis and Associates
Okay,
1 day a week
okay,
today.
okay. And?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, do you do some endorsing?
Hi, you guys? And I'm Big Ben Orthodontics, 70 orthodontist at Big Ben Orthodontics.
Thank you.
So Jeff Sanders. And I own the building at 8780 Big Bend. It's a multi-tenant office building.
I'll make sure we connect after.
Yeah.
Here's my card and my cell numbers on the back. It's my personal cell. It's quick, sweet, get hold of me.
I just want you to know that now you have his personal cell. I don't think I do. So just. It's okay.
We were ahead of
Give her a card.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
And Chris. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Chris
Chris Westmeyer.
Oh, Chris. Hi.
Westmeyer, Digital Strike, the 3 buildings.
Chris, we met before because I think we talked, you run a meeting with us for the pickleball, which I think that we are responsible for the security for.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Is there a specific place to send video from personal cameras? Like, or do you guys just want to know that we have cameras in case there's something going on?
Yeah, are you talking about specific to or concerning a specific incident or just making us aware that you have cameras in the event that
Kind of
something
both.
happens?
I've had an incident with my property and then we were told that we could somehow reach out to you guys so that you knew we had cameras on all the
Yeah.
time and if there's anything going on in the street.
Database off.
We
Yeah.
have a form for that,
Okay,
so we can get that to you.
okay.
Absolutely. And then if it is, Chief Officer.
No, please, I
Step
appreciate
in.
the help.
If there is a specific incident, usually an officer will actually come to you and ask you for it.
Mhm.
So you can follow up with them, or you can even just call the dispatch number and say, hey, this video is ready. More than likely, the officer who comes to your door will give you an email address and you can just email it.
Yeah, I
But
don't
if
know
it's
that happened when the tires got slashed. That's what I'm
Gotcha,
asking
okay.
about, yeah.
some like gas stations require like a thumb drive or
Alright.
a DVD or something, and at that point, we'll send an officer to pick it up. They'll say, hey, it's ready, we'll come get it. More than likely, the officer, if you say you have video, I can email it to you, he'll give you his email address right there at the
Okay.
time, and we can just do it that way. But I'll get you that registration form so you
Okay.
can notify, put
That's
it in
great.
the registry. So
Great.
great, thank you.
And then one last question, Eric, if we wanted to do the wreaths again for the business district, that the businesses decorate them in theme of their business, how do I get a hold of those wreaths, or how does the business district purchase them for the business district?
Yeah. So we would work with Ms. Tyler, but Yvonne and Parks has helped coordinate some of those purchases before, so we have those suppliers and can do that. I would, if we want to do that, I would encourage us to move quickly because it's usually we're ordering in June, July to make sure we have things in time for holidays. Just the last minute, sometimes they get all swamped and then you end up in supply chain problems. So
The only other thing I could suggest is maybe talk to Boy Scout troop. Because a lot of them sell them.
But those
Those
are
are
live
live.
wreaths.
Yeah.
We don't want live wreaths.
I think it would be
Yeah.
a nice thing to do.
Yep, so can we,
yep.
it seems like I'm the only one that still has the wreath, so, okay, let's go ahead and make that move to get the wreaths for the businesses.
Okay. So I think I'll work with Ms. Tyler and connect you
Okay.
and Renee and then Parks, and we'll get so we have the right thing on the catalogs and we make sure to get the order placed timely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to help in any way if it takes something up quickly, but
Okay, sure, yeah,
just, if you need.
okay, sounds great. Okay, so next meeting is October 16th. Anybody have anything else before we depart? All right, did I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And Jeff motions, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Julia
Second.
was second. All those in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. All right, everybody have a great month.
Right.
No one's
Thank you.
motion to adjourn.
Yeah.